Well, hello. We're digging into my record collection again. This is a gem. This is from Peter Pan Records, by the way. Look at the artwork on the back. Fred Flintstone's a little odd looking there. Got Petunia Pig, right? That's Porky Pig's girlfriend. I don't know who this guy is over here. See Bozo the Clown, and there's the Three Stooges. This is the Three Stooges meet Cinderella. Boy, that's some nightmare. Especially Larry. Larry is just, I mean, that's Kathy Griffin on a bad day. That's bad though. All right. This is, comes out of here. You can see there's a little spot to pull it out. And then we got TV favorites. Last time we did a record, we did Colonel Sanders, and I am like 99% sure that either it was mislabeled or I put it on backwards because I said, oh, it's going to be here's side A, and then when I'm listening to it back, I was like, I think that's got to be the other way around. So this says here side 2, and then this side, so they actually put A and the number. So look, they've got the description there. It says B at the end, and then side 2, and then on this side, which you got to flip it around because look, they're not. If you have it lined up, then you flip. Oh no, now we've got to go here. But if you look, they've got the letter A at the end of whatever that number is there. And then side 1. So this is side 1. Should be the Three Stooges meeting. I don't want them to have already met Cinderella when we start. So let's find out how this is.
Hey, Mo, I think I see something strange.
You must have looked in the mirror. What is it?
Would you believe me if I said I saw a castle?
No.
That's what I thought.
Well, did you see something strange?
I sure did.
What is it?
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
How do you know I wouldn't believe you?
You just said you wouldn't.
What did you see?
A castle.
Oh, what?
A castle. Look up that way, on the hill.
Hey, he's right. A real castle. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
You look like a monkey's uncle.
Look, the carriage is turning into this...
All right, we've got Mo, Larry, and we've got Curly Joe. So this is the final Stooge lineup. They do sound a little older, but Mo sounds real sharp. Curly Joe is a lot younger than the rest of them.
Hey, Mo, I'm scared.
Me too. I've never been inside a castle before. What if somebody finds us?
No one's going to find us if we stay out of the way and keep quiet.
Watch out. Someone's coming.
Quick, hide behind the throne.
Hey, Mo, can you see anything?
Not yet. Wait a minute. There's a man coming. He looks like a king.
A king? Oh, good. Kings are smart. Maybe he can tell us how to get home.
Quiet. We're not supposed to be here, remember? If we get caught, we'll get thrown out.
Who gets thrown out?
We'll get thrown out.
That's why they call it a throne room.
Okay.
Quiet. I'm in no mood.
We've got
for
a
jokes.
joke. I like jokes. Because this is kind of light on the jokes so far.
There's more people coming.
Ladies and gentlemen of the royal court.
Hey, that's no king. He's a judge.
Yeah, it must be some kind of a crazy courthouse.
No, the people who live in the castle are called the king's court.
I wonder if we are listening to essentially the audio from one of the animated episodes, because we're kind of all over the place here. They're talking about visual things as if we should be able to see them.
There's more people coming.
Ladies and gentlemen of the royal court.
Hey, that's no king. He's a judge.
Yeah, it must be some kind of a crazy courthouse.
No, the people who live in the castle are called the king's court.
Are you sure we're not in an old apartment house?
Quiet. The king's going to talk.
As you all know, last night we held a grand party in the castle ballroom to honor my son, the prince, upon the occasion of his birthday.
Hey, the prince had a birthday. Maybe we'll get some cake.
Shh. The party was last night. Hey, what's that you've got in your hand, Curly?
Oh, this. Just an old shoe. I found it lying on the table. That king is a pretty sloppy housekeeper, leaving shoes laying around the throne room.
At the party was a beautiful young lady with whom the prince fell in love.
Did you hear that? The prince fell in love with a beautiful young
Wait a
lady.
minute.
Maybe there'll be a wedding and we'll get some cake after all.
I hope we won't be here.
If the prince marries Curly Joe, this is going to be the greatest Three Stooges
Ran from the ballroom without telling
ever.
anyone what her name was or where she lived.
become the Four Stooges: Moe, Larry, Curly Joe, and the Prince.
Slipper here in the palace. This afternoon, I shall send my footmen to every house in the kingdom. Each maiden will have a chance to try on the slipper.
Do you think it will fit me?
You're no maiden. Besides, your feet are too big.
And the maid whose foot fits the slipper will become the wife of the prince.
And a princess besides.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I shall fetch the slipper. It's behind the throne.
Look, the king. He's coming this way. We better get out of here.
Hold, you knaves! Who are you? Where do you think you're going?
We know who we are. May we please leave the room?
Yeah, we gotta go, Your Majesty. Be seeing you. Bye.
Guards! Guards! Stop those three knaves.
Oops, they caught us.
Now, would you explain your presence in this palace?
We're from the Jiffy Spiffy Cleaner.
And we're from the Goofy Spoofy.
We're from the Jiffy Spiffy footman service.
Yeah, that's right. We're feet men.
Feet men?
Oh, he means footman, Your Honor. I mean, Your Highness. We are prepared to deliver the slipper far and wide until we find the the tootsies, the dainty foot that faints, fits.
The far and wider, the better.
What did you say?
Oh, the fairer the maiden, the better, Your Majesty.
Yes, of course. I see. But where did you get those strange clothes?
Oh, this is what the well-dressed fat men, footmen, were wearing this year.
This seems very strange. But I suppose it's all right.
Did they travel
Here
there
is the
with a
slipper.
time machine of some
Make
type?
sure you guard it carefully. And don't come back without finding a bride for the prince.
Yes, Your
Yes, Your
Majesty.
Majesty,
Not Your
yes.
Majesty.
I shall have the coach waiting at the castle door, and you'd better take along a few of the palace guards to make sure you don't get lost riding through the forest.
Oh, no. Those guards make me nervous.
What did you say?
I said at your service, Your Majesty.
Very well. You may take your leave.
Yes,
Your
Majesty. Yes, Your Majesty.
Good morning.
Interesting. This is rather slow. There's like long gaps, I find, like, with like just minimal sound effects. Wow, look at that Popeye, by the way. Look at that. That is odd looking. Look at him, man. It's very strange. All right. Well, let's see what happens on side B. Side 2.
Boy, oh boy, are we in a jam now. 5 houses and 12 maidens and still no foot to fit the slipper.
We can't spend all our time hunting for an unidentified foot. It might take weeks. We'll never get back to the professor's lab.
You know, that reminds me of a story I read when I was a little boy.
What kind of story?
You know, a story about a girl who goes to a ball and loses her shoe. What's her name?
That's it. Curly, you're a genius.
I am? Yeah, I am. What did I say?
The girl who goes to the ball and loses her shoe. That's Cinderella.
Yeah, that's the one.
Foghorn Leghorn's the
I
wrong
read a
color.
story about her once. Does that make me a genius?
I wish you two guys would tell me what you're talking about.
Don't you see? It all makes sense now. The horse-drawn carriage and the driver with a wig and the castle and the king. And
Maybe it makes sense to you, but I still don't know what you're talking about.
the professor's rocket.
What does it have to do with all those
All right,
things
so
you
yeah,
just
they went
mentioned?
back in time with some kind of rocket.
That was a time rocket.
Look at that.
We've been transported back through time to the days of castles and knights.
That's not Lola Bunny.
Nights. We got nights back home. And days, too.
Not those kind of knights, Dopey. The kind of knights that ride on horseback and save maidens in distress.
All right, so we've been transported back through time and space. How does it help us now? We got the shoe and a half a dozen guards riding with us in this coach to make sure we find a princess for the hungry prince.
It's simple. All we have to do is find out where Cinderella lives. And we have the answer to the king's problem.
But that still won't get us back to the rocket ship.
Oh, yes, it will. Just leave it to me. Look, this is what we'll do. Hey, driver, stop the coach. There's a man walking down the street. I'll ask him. Pardon me, sir, but could you direct me to the home of a young maiden named Cinderella?
What did you say her name was?
You know, mister, the lady with the glass foot?
I beg your pardon, but I don't believe I know any ladies who have glass feet. Now, if you'll excuse me.
No, he means the lady with the glass slipper.
If you don't mind my saying so, sir, I think you're a bit confused. All the ladies of this neighborhood wear shoes made out of leather.
Well, this lady...
He's doing a real Bullwinkle here. I don't know if this is the guy who did the voice of Bullwinkle, but that's what I'm hearing.
Be different, if you don't mind my saying so.
Well, if you don't mind my saying so, you seem to be a bit confused.
I'm going to
yourself.
pull Rocky out of my
We don't
hat.
mean you any offense, sir. We're the king's footmen.
Yeah, we're new in this town.
We're looking for a lady named Cinderella.
Oh, Cinderella, why didn't you say so? Yes, I know her. She lives in the third house on the next block.
Thank you. To the next block, driver.
Now what do we do, Mo?
Just follow me and remember what I told you. As soon as the shoe is on her foot.
Who is it?
It's us.
Who are you?
We're the king's footmen. We've come for your foot.
For my what?
Pardon us, ma'am, but we're here to find a future
That's the
princess
best line so
Cinderella.
far.
Yes, but
What size shoe do you wear?
11 and a half triple E. Why?
That's a pretty big foot.
That's wonderful. You're it.
On what?
You're the girl we've been looking for.
But how do you know?
Because all the storybooks say so.
I don't know what you're talking about. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to clean up the house before my wicked stepsisters wake up.
You don't seem to understand, young lady. You're about to become rich and famous. All you have to do is try on a slipper.
But what would I do with only one slipper?
If the shoe fits, wear it, I always say.
Would you mind sitting down on this chair for a minute?
Well, if you insist.
Now, just give my partner Curly your foot.
Is it clean?
Of course it's clean. I always wash my feet after every meal.
Wonderful.
What?
Now, remember our plan as soon as the shoe is on.
Well, what do I do now? I can't sit here all day, you know.
Of course not, my dear. Now, just take your little tootsie and put it inside that slipper.
All right, but I really don't understand.
Don't worry, you will soon enough. That's right. Just slip it on. A little more now, and...
Hey, guys, it's Fit. She's the one.
Of course. What did I tell you? Come, everybody. Guards. We found the princess.
Guys, come here,
Hurry
quickly.
up. This way.
Quick, hurry up.
Okay, fellas. Now, let's make a run for it. Quick, get into the carriage. Here, you horse. Run. Get up there. We're going to get back to that rocket and get out of here before anything else happens.
I never wanted to be a shoe salesman anyway.
Look up that road. The rocket.
Okay, now when I stop this carriage, we make a run for that rocket, understand?
Right.
Oh, you horses. Now, run, boys, run. Quick, inside the time rocket.
We made it.
Quick, Larry, push the starter button.
Right, boss.
We're safe.
At least for now.
Here we go again. Who knows where we'll wind up this time?
All right, so this must have been part of a series. I do know there was at least, I want to say the Three Stooges did a movie called Three Stooges in Orbit, and I want to say Have Rocket Will Travel is another Three Stooges. I don't know if they were both movies or if one of them was, I think they were both movies though. I feel like I know one of them, you can see Disneyland. Like they're like, oh no, not Disneyland. They're on like a rocket that's gonna smash into things. All right, it's time to talk about Patreon. These are the people that are on the top tier: Jared Rusky, Awkward but Awesome, Aaron Wester, Al, Archer, Bucky and Oliver, Carson Loveridge, Dana Snyder, Jason Evans, Jamie and Tom, Jen, Matthew Chapin, Mike and Jess, and my big brother Rob. Alphabetical order except for one, I think. But there they are. I also always have to put these people up on the screen, and I'm so glad to do so. These are the other contributors. They get a postcard in the mail every month. Got to put their name on screen for every one of these videos. I hope you guys go check out my Patreon if you enjoy these videos. If you're like, I don't know why I even watch this, then you probably shouldn't go there. But if you liked it, It's interesting. I love the Three Stooges. I can tell you, I know where I got this, and I don't know that I ever listened to it before today. I'm not sure, but I used to go every year to the Three Stooges convention. There's a Three Stooges museum, a Stoogeum in Pennsylvania, and I really liked it. I met the guy who was Larry's. Let me just think about this. His wife was Larry's niece. So he was Larry's niece-in-law, nephew-in-law. I don't know how that works. But it was very nice. I loved the Three Stooges. And so I was part of the fan club, and they had an annual get-together. And then they started saying, I don't know, we might go biannually because, there's not as many people that can come to these anymore, of people that had been in Three Stooges shorts and things, most of them had passed away. And so they said, we're going to go every other year. And it was a nice convention, by the way. So they'd usually have, I remember one year they had a woman that was in Three Stooges Meet Hercules, I want to say, which is one of their later films. So they had a woman that was in that movie. I know they had Hercules one year, the guy who played Hercules. And then they had a woman who was a baby in a 1930s Three Stooges short, which was just so cool to see her. But the celebrities weren't the main reason. They had a film festival, and it was really cool to sit with Stooge fans and watch unusual Stooge stuff. And then they had two things. One was they had an auction, and that's probably where I got this. And then they had a flea market. So I bought some stuff at their flea market. Every table was Stooge stuff, and I love cheap Stooge stuff. And I can tell you this, if I bought it, this was cheap. If I won it in the auction, it was probably because nobody was bidding on it. And so I won a few things in the auction that way. It meant nobody wanted it. But there you go. Three Stooges meet Cinderella. I don't know that I recommend it in any way. We didn't learn much. Only a couple jokes. There it is. I'll see you next time.